Yet here, Laertes, abhorred, for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory do thou inscribe. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new hatched unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear it that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse will bear, but not expressed in fancy, rich nor gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man, and they in France of the best rank and station are of a most select and generous chief in that. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This, above all, to thine own self be true, and it follows as the night the day, thou canst then not be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing season this in thee.
Oh, have I escaped love letters in the holiday time of my beauty to be the subject for them now? Let's see. Ask me no reason why I love you, for though love use reason for his physician, he admits him not for his counselor. You are not young. Oh. No more am I. Go to then, there's sympathy. You are merry. So am I. Then there's more sympathy. You love sack. Oh, yeah, so do I. Would you desire better sympathy? Let it suffice thee, Mistress Page, at the least, if the love of a soldier can suffice, that I love thee. I will not say, pity me, 'tis not a soldier-like phrase, but I say, love me. By me, thine own true knight, by day or night, or any kind of light, with all his might, for thee to fight. Oh. John Falstaff, herod of Jewry, is this a wicked world? One that is well worn to pieces with age presents himself a young gallant. What unweighed behavior hath this Flemish drunkard picked with the devil's name out of my conversation, that he dares in this manner to assay me? Why, he hath not been thrice in my company. What should I say to him? Oh, I was then frugal with my mirth, heaven forgive me. Why, I will present a bill in Parliament for the putting down of men. How will I be revenged on him? For revenged I will be, as sure as his guts are made of puddings.
Sonnet 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy. Is he not approved in the height a villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! What, bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor? Oh, God, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace. Talk with a man at a window, a proper saying. Sweet hero, she is wronged, she is slandered, she is undone. Princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly Count Comfect, a sweet gallant, surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesy, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore I will die a woman, with grieving.
Here. Oh, nay, 'twill be this hour ere I have done weeping. All the kind of launces have this very fault. I have been given my proportion, like the prodigious son, and I am going with Sir Proteus to the imperial's court. But I do believe that Crab, my dog, is the sourest natured animal that lives. My mother weeping, my father wailing, my sister crying, our maid howling, our cat wringing her hands, and all of our house in a great perplexity. And yet did not this cruel-hearted cur shed one tear. He is a stone, a mere pebble stone, and has no more pity in him than a dog. Why, my grandam, who has no eyes, she wept herself blind at my parting. Nay, I'll show you the manner of it. shoe is my father. No, this left shoe is my father. No, this left shoe is my mother. Yes, this left shoe is my mother, for it hath the worser soul. Yes, this one with the hole in it is my mother, and this shoe is my father. Oh, and this staff is my sister, for she is white as a lily and thin as a wand. And and my hat, this is Nan the maid. And I am the dog. No. The dog is himself, and I am the dog? No. The dog is me, and I am myself? Yeah, I, so. Now, come I to my father. Father, your blessing. Oh, but see how the shoe speaks not a word for weeping. Shall I kiss my father? And he weeps on. Come I to my mother. Oh, that she could speak as a wood woman. I kiss my mother. There it is, see her breath up and down. Come I to my sister. Oh, mark the moan she makes. And yet did not this cruel cur shed one tear or speak a word. And yet see how I lay the dust with my tears.
Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention. A kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling scene. Then should the warlike Harry like himself assume the port of Mars, and at his heels, leashed in like hounds, should famine, sword and fire, crouch for employment. But pardon, gentles all, the flat unraised spirits that have dared on this unworthy scaffold to bring forth so great an object. Can this cockpit hold the vasty fields of France? Or may we cram within this wood or no the very cast that did fright the air dashing core? Oh, pardon, since a crooked figure may attest in little place a million, and cipher to this great account on your imaginary forces work. Suppose within the girdles of these walls are confined two mighty monarchies, whose high upreared and abutting fronts the perilous narrow ocean parts asunder. Piecing out our imperfections with your thoughts, into 1,000 parts divide one man and make imaginary puissance. But think, when we speak of horses, that you see them printing their proud hoofs ill the receiving earth. For 'tis your thoughts that now must deck our kings, carrying them here and there, jumping over times, turning the accomplishments of many years into an hourglass. For the which supply, admit me, chorus, to this history, who, prologue-like, your humble patience pray, gently to hear, and kindly to judge our play.
Sonnet 130. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why, then her breasts are dun. If hairs be wires, black wires grow from her head. I have seen roses damasked red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks. And in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground. And yet, by heaven, I think my love is rare, as any she belied with false compare.
Valentine, how shall I fashion me to wear a cloak? Let me feel thy cloak upon me. What letters the same? What's here? To Sylvia? And here's the engine for my proceeding. I shall be so bold to break the seal for once. My thoughts do harbor with Sylvia nightly, and slaves they are to me that send them flying. Oh, could their master come and go as lightly? Himself would lodge, or senseless. They are lying. My herald thoughts in thy pure bosom rest them, while I, their king, that hear them importune, do curse the grace with such grace hath blessed them, because myself do want my servants' fortune. I curse myself, for they are sent by me, that harbor where their Lord would be. What's here? Sylvia? This night I will enfranchise thee? 'Tis so, and there is a ladder for that purpose. Why, Phaeton, for thou art Merip's son. Wilt thou aspire to guide the heavenly car, and with thy daring folly burn the world? Wilt thou reach for the stars because they shine on thee? Go, base intruder, overweening slave, bestow thy fawning smile on equal mates, and thank my patience more than thy desert. Is privilege for thy departure hence. Thank me more than for all the favors unto which I have bestowed on thee. But if thou lingers in my territory longer than the swiftest expedition, it will give thee time to leave our royal court. By heaven, my wrath far exceeds the love I ever bore thy daughter or myself. Be gone! I will not hear thy vain excuse. For if thou lovest life, make speed from hence.
I left no ring with her. What means this lady? Forbid my outsides have not charmed her. She made good view of me. Indeed, so much that sure methought her eyes had lost her tongue, for she did speak in stars, so distractedly. She loves me. Sure, the cunning of her passion invites me in this churlish messenger, none of my master's ring, why, he sent her none. I am the man. If it be so, as 'tis, the poor lady, she will better love a dream. Oh, how will this fetch? My master loves her dearly, and I, poor monster, fond as much on him, and she, mistaken, seems to dote on me. Oh, how will this turn out? As I am man, my state is desperate for my master's love. As I am woman, now lasts the day. What thriftless sigh shall poor Olivia breathe? Ah, time, thou must untangle this, not I. It's too difficult and not for me to untie.
Sonnet 73. That time of year thou mayest in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few do hang, upon those boughs, which shake against the cold, bear ruined choirs, where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day, as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second half, that seals up all the rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well, which thou must leave ere long.
Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by this sun of York, and all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarms changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war has smoothed his wrinkled front, and now, instead of mounting barbed steed to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber to the lascivious pleasing of a lute. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass, I that am rudely stamped and want love's majesty to strut before a wanton ambling nymph, I that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me when I halt by them. Why I, in this weak piping time of peace, find no delight to pass the time, unless to spy my shadow in the sun and descant upon my deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these farewell spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous by drunken prophecy, libels, and dreams, to set my brothers Clarence and the king in deadly hate, the one against the other. And if King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, this day should Clarence closely be mewed up over a prophecy which says that G of Edward's heirs the murderer shall be. Dive thoughts down to my soul. Your Clarence comes.
And may it be that you have quite forgot a husband's office. Shall Antipholus, even in the spring of love, thy love springs rot? Shall love in building grow so ruinous? If you did wed my sister for her wealth, then for her wealth's sake, use her with a more kindness. Or, if you like elsewhere, do it by stealth. Muffle your false love with some show of blindness. Let not my sister read it in your eye. Be not thy tongue thy own shame's orator. Look sweet, speak fair, become disloyalty, Apparel vice like virtue's harbinger. Bear false presence, though your heart be tainted. Teach sin the carriage of a holy saint. Be secret false. What need she be acquainted? What simple thief brags of his own attaint? 'Tis double wrong to truant with your bed, and let her read it in thy looks at board. Shame hath a bastard fame, well managed. Ill deeds are doubled with an evil word. Alas, poor women, make us but believe, being compact of credit, that you love us. Though others have the arm, show us the sleeve. We in your motion turn, and you may move us. Then, gentle brother, get you in again. Comfort my sister, cheer her, call her wife. 'Tis holy sport to be a little vain when the sweet breath of flattery conquers strife.
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear. And this weak and idle theme, no more yielding, but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend. And as I am an honest Puck, and if we have unearned luck now to escape the serpent's tongue, we will make amends ere long. Else the Puck a liar call. So good night unto you all. Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.